All right, so it seems that everyone is already online, so let's start our meeting. All right, a very good afternoon to you all, and I'm delighted to welcome all of you to join us today at the first networking meeting between the Third Wednesday Club Young Entrepreneur Group, which is also known as TWC-YEG, and Vietnam Young Entrepreneur Association, which is also known as VYEA. And my name is Sandia, your MC today, and Mr. John Tran will support me from Vietnam. All right, to begin with, please allow me to, thank you. And to begin with, please allow me to introduce our participants from Taipei, and later on I'll pass the floor to John to introduce participants from Vietnam. And from TWC-YEG, let's welcome Vice Chairman, Mr. Richard Lin. Please wave your hand and say hello.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all.
Right. And Mr. Mike Bradford Hsu, Convener of International Affairs Committee. Mike.
Hello. Nice to meet everybody.
And we have another Convener of International Affairs Committee, Mr. Jie Tian.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi, Jay.
And Mr. Howard Yu.
Hi, everyone. I'm Howard.
And Mr. Victor Ma, Deputy Secretary General.
Hello, everybody.
And from Confederation of Asia Pacific Chambers of Commerce and Industry, which is also known as CASI, let's welcome Director General, Mr. Ernest Lin. Mr. Lin, probably you have to unmute yourself, yes, so that we can hear you. Okay, and Deputy Director General, Mr. Amado Honrado. All right, I think Mr. Mick Moreno is helping there.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, okay. All right, so we can hear you. Hi. Hello again. And we have another Deputy Director General, Mr. Mick Moreno. Mick.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. And Senior Officer, Ms. Abby Moreno. Good. Okay. And from CDBC, we have Joe. Please wave your hand.
Hi, Joe is here. Nice to see everyone.
And Nick.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Right, and Ivy.
Hi, I'm Ivy.
All right, thank you. And I would like to call on John to introduce participants from Vietnam. Well, actually, yeah, just introduce a little bit of yourself and your members and Vice Chairwoman as well.
Okay, sure things. Okay, thank you. And a round of applause to everyone. So allow me to introduce, first of all, Ms. Huê Pham. You may address her as Huê or Ms. Pham. And she's our Vice President of VYEA, which is Vietnam Young Entrepreneur Associations. Huê, could you say something?
Good afternoon, everybody. So I'm happy to, on behalf of my association, to say hello to all the friends from Taiwan. So we hope that after this meeting, we have some connection more deeply and give some benefit for all of our members. So in short, please, I just introduce just some information about our associations. So we are Vietnam Young Business Entrepreneurs we have about over 10,000 members. All of our members are CEO or chair all of their entrepreneurs, their companies. So we are the biggest association in Vietnam. So we are on behalf of all the private business people in Vietnam. So we have connection around Vietnam with 63 associations in 63 provinces. So that's why we connect all the members around Vietnam. So we support for the government, so how to build the policy for economies or something, and we raise our voice from our business entrepreneurs in Vietnam with the government. And at the moment, right now, we're still a member ASEAN Young Entrepreneur too. So we still do some business connection from ASEAN to Vietnam and some birthrights. And at the moment right now, so because of pandemic, so some economies is a little bit down, and we still try to support, to do a lot of big charity event to support all the people. They face on a difficult situation because of the COVID at the moment right now. After this meeting, we actually we want to know more detail about how's your club, because I am very impressed with the name. It's the third Wednesday Club Young Entrepreneur Group. So we are very excited about how to know about your club. So after we introduce our group, so we would like to hear some information and what you need and what we want to connect with Vietnam. And another way, John will say with your group about what we can support each other to be the connection and give some benefit for all of our members. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Wei. So that was a very succinct introductions about VYEA, and allow me to also say some things about Wei or Miss Pham. She's in logistics sectors, and her company is one of the leading logistics management companies and investment management and investment companies in Vietnam. She owns and operates a number of ports and industrial zones in Vietnam, which is something that I'm sure a lot of Taiwanese partners would like to know more about what you're doing, Wei. And also we have Sylvia, whom I introduced earlier. So Sylvia, would you say hi to everyone?
Hi, everyone. As introduced earlier, I represent the real estate and hospitality sector. We also have a wing in industrial manufacturing. In Vietnam VYEA, I'm a very new member, also participating now in the ASEAN Young Women Entrepreneurs Club as co-chair representing Vietnam this year. I'm also very passionate about sustainability development, technology enhancement in all of our business. And I hope to learn from all Taiwan Wednesday Club YEG member. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sylvia. Sylvia is being modest. Her family is also owns one of the hospitalities in Vietnam. So if you can get into these sectors, please feel free to get in touch with her. So back over to Sandia. Could you maybe say a few words about your organizations?
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. And I think I'll just pass the floor to our Vice Chairman, Mr. Richard Lin, to say a few words and also introduce the organization TWC-YEG. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Richard Lin, Vice Chairman of Third Wednesday Club, YEG. Myself, I'm involved in the glass industry. So our company produce architectural glass, window glass, automotive glass, glass bottles for beers, milks, drinks. We also produce fiberglass for circuit boards and fiberglass for marine applications and automotive reinforcements. I would like to start with Fran's question about why is it called the Third Wednesday Club? It's actually because we hold monthly meetings on the third Wednesday of each month. So that we start with the third Wednesday. In Taiwanese, we also call it 三三会, which means 2-3. That is the third Wednesday, the third week and the third day of the week. It is great to have this virtual meeting with our friends from Vietnam. I would like to thank Ms. Phan, Vice Chairwoman of Vietnam Young Entrepreneurs Association, for accepting our invitation and honoring us with her presence. The primary purpose of the TWC-YEG is to provide a platform for exchanging information, facilitating collaboration, and promoting innovations. We have been fostering relations with peer YEG groups, both domestic and overseas, like Vietnam and Thailand, Japan and China. Before the outbreak of COVID-19, we organized several missions to visit our counterpart YEGs in neighboring countries. attend conferences and visit innovative businesses. I recall bringing our YEG to Vietnam in 2017. That was the year of the APEC in Vietnam. We visited Ho Chi Minh City and Da Nang. It was a wonderful visit. We look forward to every opportunity to meet again and interact with our friends from Vietnam. The connection of the YEGs between the two countries, through that we hope to create business opportunities for both of our members. I believe there are a lot we can work on in between Vietnam and Taiwan. Finally, I want to thank all of you for your participation. I look forward to a productive and fruitful meeting this afternoon. Thank you. I'll pass back to Sandia.
All right, thank you, Vice Chairman Lin. And shall we have Ms. Hui to say more viewers, or we just move on to the introduction of both organizations? John?
I think it's better if we move on to the introductions of the members. So perhaps we should give a few seconds for the Taiwanese members to say a few words about their businesses.
All right. So Mr. Rachel Lin has already introduced himself. And the next week, can we have Mr. Mike Su? Please say a few words and introduce yourself as well.
Hi, hello, nice to meet everybody. My name is Mike Su. I right now is the CEO of NanoRay Biotechs. We develop and research and develop X-ray applications, and also a new technology in X-ray called transmission X-ray. We apply them in 3 different industries. One is in non-destructive testing, which is pretty much production line or manufacturing line QC. The other one is medical imaging, like you would see in a hotel X-ray. Hospital X-rays, or it's more of a innovative one. Is more of a targeting cancer treatment using our X-ray technology to do cancer treatment. Now, both the medical side of it is still in the FDA process of certification, but our non-destructive testing, we've already been have cases in Southeast Asia, like Thailand, Japan, and hopefully I look forward to having cooperation in Vietnam also. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mike. And Jay Tian.
Hi, my name is Jay. My background is more in finance and banking. My family, we operate a business bank in the United States. Currently here in Taiwan, I do have a food and beverage business, so it's more of a food and beverage focus. So I do import wine and different types of alcohol from France and Italy. And then for food-wise, we represent different brands from the US or from Japan or from France. So basically, we also do investments into different areas that we're interested in. But primarily in Taiwan, it's more of a retail food and beverage focus.
All right,
Thank you.
Jay. Thank you. And what about Howard? Please, if you will introduce yourself.
Hi everyone, I'm Howard. We are an engineering company focusing on electricity, plumbing, and fire protection system establishment for the whole building, especially department stores, office building, hotel, and hospital, and other kinds of commercial and industrial buildings. So basically, this is my family business. So yeah, it's been 45 years. Actually, we had a branch office in Vietnam a couple of years ago. Yeah, but we closed that and then going back to Taiwan. Yeah, but still have a very good, I'm still very happy to have a very good connection with Vietnam right now. Yeah, so nice to see everyone.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Victor Ma, he just left. Well, he is Deputy Secretary General of the TWC-YEG, and he's helping out the organization. And can we have Mr. Ernest Lin to introduce yourself as well?
Hello, good afternoon, everybody. I'm Ernest Lin. I'm Director General of the Confederation of Asia Chamber of Commerce and Industry. CASI is an international organization composed of the national level chambers from about 26 countries. And our member from Vietnam is VCCI. And we have been attending the ASEAN YEG Carnival over the last few years. And later on, my colleagues will give you an introduction of the YEG under CASI. We call it YEGA. We are now currently restructuring the organization of YEGA, and we hope to invite Vietnam YEG to join us. Thank you.
Thank you. And Mr. Conrado.
Yes, good afternoon. My name is Mr. Amador Honrado. I work as the Deputy Director General of CASI. And I'm from the Philippines, but I have been based in Taipei with the CASI Secretariat for the past 20 years. So as mentioned, the Confederation of Asia Pacific Chambers of Commerce was created to provide a platform for businessmen from 25 countries to network with each other, explore possible business opportunities, and eventually help promote the economic development and growth of the Asia Pacific region. So to achieve this objective, we have organized several committees or subgroups which are focused or sector focused. And one of these is as mentioned by Mr. Ernest Lin, is the Young Entrepreneurs Group of Asia Pacific, or YEGAP, which was established in 2004 in Cambodia with the primary aim of promoting pro-enterprise spirit among the young entrepreneurs in Asia Pacific through networking, collaboration, and exploring possible business opportunities among each other. And as mentioned also by Mr. Ernest Lin, we're trying to, we would like to have the VYEA join the YEGAP. We approached the Vietnam Chamber of Commerce and Industry if they could facilitate your membership in YEGAP, but we were because we were informed that you are not actually affiliated with the VCCI, but they say they work closely with you. So hopefully we'll be able to get you to nominate your representatives to YEGAP so that we'll be able to work together, especially with the Young Entrepreneurs Group of Vietnam, to help achieve the objective of our organization, YEGAP. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you, Mr. Conrado. And we also have few colleagues from CTBC. So Joe, would you like to introduce your members as well and yourself as well?
Okay, hi everyone. My name is Joe, and I'm from CTBC, working as a manager to do the networking to the related association. And CTBC has its representative at the service point in Vietnam. In Ho Chi Minh City, we have subsidiary, and also as well as in Hanoi, we have a rep office there. So it's quite a long service over there, and have been good connection with Vietnam. And we are very happy to join today's meeting today, and very happy to facilitate this virtual meeting with CASI and with CFC YEG as well. So we hope there is a very productive communication between all of us. Thank you. And I also have some of my colleagues joining. So Sandia and Ivy and Nick, would you like to introduce us as well? Ivy, or introduce yourself. You are on mute.
Ivy, on mute.
Hi, I'm Ivy from CTBC. I'm happy to coordinating the virtual meeting between Taiwan and Vietnam, and hope we have more chances to talk soon in the near future. Thank you.
Thank you. And Nick, would you like to say some words?
Hi everyone, and hello my friends in from Vietnam. I'm very
Speak
happy
up a
to meet
little.
you guys, and I hope we enjoyed the meeting today. Thank you.
And of course, our MC today is Sandia. Sandia, would you like to introduce us as well?
Hi, I'm Sandia, and I know that you have already. We have a little bit, so we should just move on to the next agenda. All right. So, John, I suppose that we just move on to the next agenda and introduce the organization. So first,
Yeah, I think we have already introduced ourselves. So perhaps now I would like to hear from Richard, Mr. Lin, in terms of what it is that he's expecting or what he's envisioning for the cooperation between our two organizations. Richard?
Okay, so
is yours.
actually we have prepared a bit more details in some background of our organization that we would like to share first, and also explain about how we want to gain from each other. So may I start slide share with you?
please.
Yeah, okay, please hold on. Okay, everyone see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. I'll make a brief introduction and what we do. A bit on the history. So we were founded in 1999 by Dr. Wen Jiang and succeeded by Dr. Zheng Fugu and Jeffrey Ku. Currently, we have the chairman, Mr. Xu Shenxiong from Quangpo and Kingpo Group. This is the Third Wednesday Club. And currently, the Third Wednesday Club consists of a total of 77 of Taiwan's leading business conglomerates as regular members, and also 45 other outstanding enterprise sponsor members. Although we don't have too many members, but the combined revenue of our members is around $700 billion US. The objective of the club was to promote international business exchange, strengthen relationships among members, also enhance international investment and trade. So over the years, TWC has become one of the most prestigious business organizations in Taiwan. We make tremendous contributions to the expansion of economic interactions between Taiwan and other countries. The Young Entrepreneurs Group, which is under the TWC, under the Third Wednesday Club, is founded in 2015. We are in our third term with our current chairman is Michael Chen. Okay. Our mission is we aim to provide a platform for exchanging experiences, facilitating collaborations and promoting innovations amongst our members. So we do help to exchange experiences with our friends in Vietnam, hoping to have some collaborations and provide business opportunities for our members. We have three main tasks. The first is we foster relationship with our peer YEG organizations, both domestically and overseas. Like yourself, domestically we network with other YEGs across Taiwan, with other YEGs across Taiwan, and also we envision growth and competitiveness by promoting business models and sharing of corporate practices. Our organization, our current chairman is Michael Chen from NICE Group, which is also a food and beverage conglomerate. Our CEO is Joseph Huang from CTBC Holdings. We have 4 vice chairmen that are responsible for 4 functional committees. I'm responsible for the international affairs. And we have 3 advisors who are experts in management, trading, and economic affairs. There are several YEGs in Taiwan, so and they are often sector or location specific. Currently, we connect with other YEGs and aiming to form an alliance on the national level. Our members come from a variety of sectors, including manufacturing, financial, and service industries. We have a total of 99 members. Our activities including where we invite well-known entrepreneurs, industry experts to deliver speech at monthly meetings. We organize overseas company visits, and we also establish communication platform to network young entrepreneurs, both domestically and overseas. So that's, for example, between Taiwan and Vietnam. Right. These are some of the activities that we have been doing since establishment. So in 2016, we visited Japan for Mitsubishi corporations. We do have a counterpart of the Japanese YEG. Later, another trip, we went to China. We visited Alibaba and other companies. In 2017, the APEC CEO in Da Nang that we visited. We do hope to visit Vietnam again. Later, we also visited other renowned companies like Tencent, Xiaomi. We hope to attend the ASEAN YEG Congress regularly. But since the pandemic, we can only hold virtual meetings. So we have been holding virtual meetings with our friends from Thailand, from Malaysia. These are some of the photos. So through the connection, we hope to provide an understanding of Vietnam for our members, and hopefully maybe for members from friends from Vietnam, they can get an understanding of Taiwan. And furthermore, if there are business opportunities, we hope to provide a link and connections to help them with international business expansion. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Thank you, Vice Chairman Lin. And from the Vietnam side, we would like to hear from Ms. Fong and John about your organization. We would like to learn more. So please, John. Ms. Fong.
Information. Let I ask Trang. Trang, can you share our profile? Trang, you hear? Em có cái share mà anh đừng gửi mail. Wait a moment, I will say our association.
John, do you hear?
Yes. Would you like me to share the discussions then? Let me do it for Hui. It's probably easier because I have the files. Could I share it here?
Yes, I give you the co-host.
Okay, thank you. Give me 1 second.
No problem. Take your time. While we're waiting for John, it's glad to know that know more about the TWC-YEG, and later we'll know more about the organization of VYEA from Vietnam.
That's VYEA. Okay, let me share it. Share the screen.
All right.
Is it on?
Yes, it's going in. It's downloading. Wait.
Okay. So I mean, a lot of these, basically just general information. So I'm just gonna run through it really quickly. So we were established in 1993. Sorry, say it again.
John, would you like to make it full screen, enlarge it?
Okay. So is it too small then? Let me enlarge it. Better now?
Much better.
Okay, so I'm going to run through this quickly. You know, we in order to save time for the you know, the real discussion later on. So I'm just going to run through this. So we were established in 1993, and in terms of membership, as Ms. Pham mentioned earlier, we have around over 10,000 members, and basically we have branches in all 63 cities and provinces. So this slide was actually not updated because we just had the last branch open, basically charter members. Yeah, so it's 28 years now, on to the number 28 years, over $30 billion per year from our members. We have a numbers of clubs, and we are engaging closely with the government, being you know, by virtues of our establishment was actually by a governmental decree. So we are officially the only young entrepreneurs club organizations that was recognized and officially sanctioned by the governments of Vietnam. So by virtues of that, we have been doing a numbers of engagement with the governments in terms of policy dialogue, in terms of policy advisory to the governments, and at pretty much all of our key events, we have participations from senior government officials, government leaders. Most recently, we have been leading, representing our members to petitions for further stimulus support from the governments in terms of you know, lowering interest rates and providing more fiscal stimulus to our members, and they were taken up by the government, which is you know, basically a testament to our support from the Vietnamese government. Yeah, and our members and actually numbers of our ex-members. So basically, we have an age limit of 45, and after which our alumni have now moved on to become major enterprises in Vietnam. And basically, we count among our members the biggest of the biggest names in our members in Vietnamese enterprises. Because 1993 in Vietnam, when we were set up, Vietnam was actually barely open up. Basically, after the fall of the Soviet Union in 1990, then 1991 was when we have the law on enterprise, and then that's 1993. Actually, well, it was before Vietnam opens up to the global economy, and this organization was set up. So by virtues of that, all of our alumni basically were very early enterprises in Vietnam during that time, and they have gone on to become very successful, very big names in pretty much all sectors. So that's, I would say, we actually reach out a lot. So basically, in shout out to our the gentleman, Ernest, and then Amado from CICCI, we did get the invitation to join VYEA, and I think we are awaiting official approval from the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for that. I mean, that is a bit of you know, protocol that we have to follow, because that is considered a major international outreach activities. So for that, we do need to get approval from the government. So you will probably hear from us very soon. And most likely, Ms. Pham and probably myself will represent Vietnam to join YEA again. I would say that's pretty much it. That's the meat of it. And any questions, I think that's probably easier for me to address directly. Back to you, Sandhya.
All right, thank you. And it's glad to know that you and Ms. Pham will join the YEA in the future. All right, now we get to know more about both organizations, and considering that we are facing the COVID-19 and taking this opportunity, we would like to hear from both sides, your company, when you face under the COVID-19 pandemic and your strategies in the post-COVID era. So can we have Mike to share with us first?
Hello, everybody. COVID, COVID has pretty much affected us in my company probably in two fronts. One is outside our company, our customers, vendors, vertical, our manufacturers, our outsourced partners, and then within our companies. So I'll focus first on the outside. Customers, at least internationally wise, has been okay because we've always been using online or telephone conferences. So that hasn't changed much. But as far as internally, where our Taiwan customers, they pretty much slowed down. So a lot of the activities where we do visit their production line to make measurements, that's pretty much been halted. But still, with those projects that has already been ongoing, those has been continuing. With our outsourced partners, again, they've slowed down, so our delivery times has also been affected. Within the company, the only concerns that we've had is most of our positions aren't necessarily has a backup, where if one employee is hospitalized or catches the COVID and is unable to work, the backup isn't necessarily up to the task yet. So to counter this, we've been requesting all our managements and each team members to start training, not necessarily training, but have their workload correspond with a second person. In addition, we also split the company sort of in half, where we have A team and B team. So that A team comes on alternating days. A and B team come on alternating days, so they don't meet each other. In case if one of the team members from one catches COVID, and so the whole team is then quarantined for 14 days, our company isn't exactly come to a complete halt. In addition to this, we also institute where, because we do have to visit our outsourced manufacturers or other locations, those team members that do come back from that are tested weekly. I think Taiwan only recently allowed the purchase of home testing, so we started doing that recently to counter the effects of to get ahead of somebody catching it early, so that we can prevent our company from having to go into lockdown. So that's pretty much our situation right now, and we're hoping that everybody stays safe and not catch the COVID-19, because not only is it affecting their family and their family members, but it also affects our businesses. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. And Jay, we'd like to hear from your side. You have to unmute yourself.
Hi, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Sorry about So I'll speak more about the food and beverage side of the business that I run in Taiwan. Essentially, for more office or our internal areas, like Mike or a lot of companies in Taiwan, we did have A and B shifts. But we started out doing one week A shift and 1 week B shift, but found out that was a bit too unproductive because it was like about a week off for each shift. So we switched to being about 2 or 3 days in the office for A shift and then 2 or 3 days for the B shift. Again, so that the people from different shifts don't minimize the transfer of COVID if anybody got it. Also, because of food business, our central kitchen, we were very we cared about it very much because it's the hub or the production facility for all our retail locations. So we were very heightened about being clean, sanitized, and protective gear for our staff that prepare the food, so that if in any case one of our staff was affected, that it would not affect the production of our food product and quality. Another side of the business is the retail location, where we do have staff serving customers or on site most of the time. So again, for their protection and for customer protection, we strengthened the way we sanitize, how often we sanitize, what type of equipment we use, or what type of equipment or gear we wear. That way to protect the customers, our products, and also our employees. In terms of our business, we were okay because we do 50% takeout, 50% dine-in. So it's been pretty okay. So our business was prepared to continue even if situation was a little bit worse, and that food or retail locations had to be shut down for no dine-in specific purposes. So we were still able to be operational. Of course, revenue did decline by, let's just say, half because we were shut down. But fortunately, we were able to still have revenue and to cover cost and to take care of most of our employee and company needs. So fortunately, from my side, the food business was okay, was sustainable for us. In terms of the beverage side, because a lot of people were locked down at home for quite a while and getting bored, so we did get a lot of orders for wine to be delivered to their house or to their office. So business was quite okay also for the beverage side. In terms of course, expansion or further expansion of retail locations, construction was slowed down. A lot of construction crews, many of the staff I heard were sick, so they stopped construction, and we had to postpone a lot of our projects. But now it's slowly kind of picking up again. In terms of the other side of my family business, which is more banking and investing side, of course, affected because we can't really travel and to meet people directly in person. It's great that we can have virtual meetings, but I still think it's a bit different from actually seeing things in person and actually meeting the people that you're going to work with. So that's kind of, although we're productive, but I think it takes away from how productive we can be. So that's my my side of the story. Thank you.
And so I will share some information about our side. I'm from Ho Chi Minh City, but right now I'm staying office in Hanoi. Now is very sad to let you know that Ho Chi Minh City is totally locked down. We face a very difficult situation. The company almost closed because why? Because every day we have about almost 2,000 F0. It means that's very dangerous, and all the hospital in Ho Chi Minh almost overload. Our business is in the south of Vietnam is international port. So That's why kind of business that the government still keep control to keep on, even though the pandemic, but we still in the priority still keep our business. How difficult we have to face. For example, one of our staff is stay in Ho Chi Minh City and some port or some logistics center outside of Ho Chi Minh. So we cannot move from Ho Chi Minh to another province. So how do we handle? We first we have to set up the area for about 500 staff, stay in the port, stay at international port. So we face a lot of complicated situation how to handle. The first for staff, the second for on the worker, the third that on the how to transportation, how the truck move on the way. So we get a lot of license because the government say that if you want to move out Ho Chi Minh City, you need to approve from the government, and then you have the license. That very how to say important reason that you allowed to go out of the city. So we face a lot of the situation. So right now is from my international port in Ho Chi Minh City, we face revenue we cannot mention, but we just how to pay and to keep that business, because all of the international ships that come out of port, so they cannot wait in. So we face a lot of situation. And totally about all of our members in our association, almost they face the same situation. For tourists, for the hospitality, so almost close zero revenue. And the lucky thing that we have a positive thinking. So we together, we don't mind about how the economies slow down right now. We just raise up our mindset how to overcome the pandemic, and we just think that we're strong, and then we can make it again. So all of our members look like you see every day our association, we have totally about 100 activity charity. So because you know that our associations, we raise by our finance to operation our association. We are not spend money from the government. For example, me or John, Sylvia or John or me. So every year we raise our finance for our association. So even though right now our economies, our company face a lot of difficult situation, but how to show? So we just how to support all of another member, all of another farmer, a lot of people, they are more difficult than us. So we raise money, we raise rice. So we bought the ATM machine. So it means that when you put the rice inside, you just enter and you can sell rice for all of the people face situation. Or some, right now, every day, our association, we support about 10,000 meals for all of the people on the streets, because all the poor people, they cannot on the clothes, so they have no money how to feed their family. So we feed every day about 10,000 meals for all the people. So what we do, we have about 100 members. We cook, then we deliver it by ourselves to all the people. That's the thing. And you know, this time our chairman of association, he's the very activity guy, and his sponsors spend a lot for our association. And with his mind, he train our attitude, how to fight with situation, how to take responsibility with our social. So then we hope that soon the vaccine will come and we can take enough vaccine, and the economies will again. So that's right now, that's a difficult situation in Ho Chi Minh City right now. And not only in Ho Chi Minh City, all of in the south of Vietnam, a very bad situation. So we all think how to support for on the south, our hurt. Yeah, that situation.
Okay, thank you, Wei. I think we're already approaching the 1 hour mark, and I think it's probably better for everyone's benefits if we move to the perhaps the crux of our discussion today, which is what it is that we can cooperate. So Richard, I would like you to lead the discussions in terms of what it is that the two organizations can work together to promote trades and investments. Obviously, with the view that we're going to look beyond what's happening right now. I mean, you know, given how COVID is still raging in both countries, and the rate of vaccinations in both countries is actually pretty low, I would say that, you know, we'll probably want to look beyond the immediate future. So what it is that you think we can do, you know, in the meantime, in terms of communications, in terms of exchanging ideas and promoting dialogue, so that we can prepare for the new normal, prepare for the post-COVID future, where the two organizations can work together and facilitate better cooperation among our members. So Richard, I would like to hear from you.
John, thank you. Although our two countries are actually very similar, we are facing the pandemic at around the same time. We're doing pretty well in the past, and now probably need a lot of help, especially we are both needing a lot of vaccines. So we hope to get enough of that. But anyway, this will be over. Eventually, we will get enough vaccines for everyone to get 2 shots or 3 shots next year. So we should come out of this, I personally believe, sometime next year. Before that, it's probably quite difficult for our business. For example, we have expansions in China and Taiwan. So we are major glass producers. We don't have any operations in Vietnam. So for example, industrial parks, this is something that we can explore. We are happy and willing to explore. I believe a lot of our members each have their own agenda to hoping to work with Vietnam. But it depends on everyone is different. So I hope to serve as a connection point. Today we have a few members from our organization, a few members from Europe to know each other. But maybe next time we can have a bit more, and also we can survey our members about who is interested in knowing more about Taiwan or knowing more about Vietnam. And the people can bring up their agenda about their own needs. We can also bring up our resources to reply to their needs. I think that is one step we can move on to help to benefit our members.
Excellent. So with your permissions, I would like to open the floors to other members. So whoever want to have to raise their voice in terms of what it is that they want to work with Vietnam going forward. So, you know, anyone wants to raise your hands and then maybe say a few words about what it is that you want to do with Vietnam? Okay, JT, yes, I love your name because your name is the same as mine. So JT, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Thank you. I think, you know, in the food and beverage area that I work with, a lot of people are looking to expand into Vietnam. You know, either working with hotels or working for different partners to actually start a business. I know a while back, I have a friend who has a large textile clothing manufacturing in near Ho Chi Minh, and then he wanted to bring like a Ding Tai Fung. I don't know if you know the brand, but the dumpling brand from Taiwan to Vietnam. So he was doing it, but he's not. He's a manufacturer. He's not in the food and beverage business. So the brand itself, the owner of the brand was very, you know, hesitant because he hoped that someone with a stronger, maybe hospitality or F&B background. So I think like this is an example of if we can find partners or people who are interested in building a company together that can help us or operate a franchise of a particular brand in Vietnam. I myself operate a cake business, and also Vietnam could be a very strong potential for us to expand because I'm looking into Southeast Asia, and for example, Thailand, Malaysia, and also Vietnam is one large option that I'm thinking about doing.
Okay, excellent. So I guess let's in the meantime, when everyone else is perhaps thinking of what to say, let me just share with you the situations in Vietnam. so that you have perhaps the bigger pictures. I would say that Taiwan is actually a very interesting case because the Taiwanese came to Vietnam among the earliest. So in the early 1990s, when Vietnam opened up the economy, the Taiwanese was among the first to come into Vietnam, and the early movers were hugely successful, especially in terms of using Vietnamese as a manufacturing base, taking advantage of cheap labors and the numbers of government incentives back then. But fast forward to the 2000s, and the Taiwanese has retreated a little bit, or more so actually got overtaken by the Chinese, by the Korean, and also by the Japanese. And so now Taiwan is not even in the top 5 in terms of the trading partners with Vietnam. And that is actually a huge difference from the 1990s. So Vietnam right now is a totally different countries from when the Taiwanese first coming into Vietnam. Right now, we have a lot of players, major players that are jockeying for positions in Vietnam by virtues of our proximity to the Chinese market, and also because of the moving out of China. So a lot of businesses are now moving to Vietnam to set up shops. And so investments, especially FDIs into Vietnam, has been growing rapidly even during COVID-19 time. And at the same time, Taiwan is actually can actually look to Korea, to South Korea for some reference, because Korea and Taiwan actually have something quite similar. You both have a crazy neighbor next door, and that is not good for business. And what that happened with the Korean was that ever since the early 2000s, they have been moving out of Korea and setting up bases in Vietnam as a kind of like their second base, just in case something bad were to happen, in the Korean peninsula. And so now Vietnam has been the #1 destinations in Southeast Asia for Korean businessmen, and also a number of them actually have moved totally to Vietnam. The implications of that is huge because right now the Korean have brought their capital, the expertise, and also setting up sort of like a mini Korean town in a numbers of Vietnamese provinces and then cities, and they are flexing their muscle to dominate a numbers of industries in Vietnam. The Chinese actually have been doing very well in Vietnam. But they actually at a disadvantage somehow because the government of Vietnam is actually not encouraging Chinese operations in Vietnam that much, and I think that benefits the Korean significantly. So in terms of what it is that will happen between Taiwan and Vietnam, I would imagine that we will see more and more Taiwanese businesses finding that Vietnam is a good base for their second manufacturing bases. Not only in terms of the economic potentials of Vietnam, but also because Vietnam is probably the only countries in Southeast Asia that is still very welcoming and still pretty much at the early stage of development, that are attractive enough for Taiwanese and then also similarly for Korean investors. Because if you look at that, among the ASEAN 6, so Indonesia, Malaysia, Singapore, the Philippines, they are they have a large economies and they have a very strong local competitors who are well capitalized and able to actually put up a fight with this very strong support from the government to push back the foreign investor, foreign competitors coming into the market. In terms of the ASEAN 4, Cambodia and Laos are too small. The economy are too small. Myanmar used to be a very potential destination, but now even what has happened, that's already pretty much fell off the map. So Vietnam right now is the only one that is, the economies is hugely open. We are the second most open economies in Southeast Asia, only behind Singapore, but it's actually by a razor thin margin. Vietnamese economy has been growing. I think you already know, very fast, with a lot of room for further growth. And at the same time, in terms of culture, the Vietnamese culture is very similar to Taiwanese, and also similar to the Chinese cultures. So you will find Vietnam a very hospitable places. The food, the people, the cultures, even the political cultures in Vietnam is something that the Taiwanese can adapt quickly. So the Taiwanese actually have a lot of advantages. How do you make the most of that, and how you can actually move quicker? I think is going to be a multi-billion dollars questions. So that I think is the background for the potential cooperation between our two countries. So I see someone else is raising hands. Howard, would you like to say something?
Hi, John. I have a questions. Just like what I said, we were trying to expand in our engineering business to Vietnam a couple years ago, but we realized that there is a barrier for entry for the business like ours to get into Vietnam. But we're still looking for some investment opportunities to Vietnam. But according to what I observed and according to what I understand from you, is that basically you need your country or your government as your backup, or your business is huge enough like international conglomerates, so that you have the chance to invest in Vietnam. What if we are just like a private enterprise? Is there any chance that we can have some information about how to have a chance to invest in Vietnam? So this is my question.
Okay, great questions. So what I can tell you is there are two things. One is a myth and the other one is reality. The myth is that in Vietnam, you got to be big. You have to be a multi-billion-dollar business to enter the Vietnamese market. And you need, in order for you to survive, then you need to spend a lot of money. That is not true. Actually, around, I would say 97 to 98% of our members, small and medium-sized enterprises, very much like yours. The problems that from my experience, a lot of foreign investors coming into Vietnam, the mistake that they often make is, number one, they imagine Vietnam as the way they want it to be, not as the way it is. So oftentimes people will extrapolate what they are used to do in their own country and try to apply that in Vietnam. Never works. You will find that in Vietnam, you can actually find, a lot of them actually have crook partners, actually got into a lot of scams and frauds in Vietnam, just in any other countries. So what you want to do is, number one, you try to find a good partner, someone that with high integrity, and stick to that partner and work with him. That's most important. He will be your guide and he will take care of everything else for you. This is something that the Singaporean and then the Korean have already mastered, the art of working with the local partners. Because the local partner can make, but I can then also break you. So being able to find a good partner, someone that that you can trust, someone that look at the big pictures and want to go the extra mile, go the long way with you, which is very important. Because obviously given how the Vietnamese economies, and then similar to what is happening in China, the get rich quick mindset is creeping into a lot of businessmen in our two countries. It's very easy that you will find people who will give you the world, promise you the world, and then obviously after you make the investment, then basically you're fucked. Pardon the language. Because one of the things that you have to remember is that the rule of law in Vietnam is very weak. So any kind of complaints, any kind of lawsuits, any kind of protection that you may expect from the court of law doesn't apply here. So forget about it. Basically, it goes back to the very Chinese way of doing things, trust, which is something that it's actually a mixed bag of a blessing and a curse. Because on the one hand, that is actually very difficult for you to find the right partners. But at the same time, being a Taiwanese, you have certain advantages. Number one is that Vietnam has a huge base of Chinese descendants, i.e. the Chinese Vietnamese. And they are very successful, very well funded, and operate in kind of like a small clan. And they respond very well to Chinese-speaking partners. So if you come into Vietnam and you find one of those, groups, then they will welcome you in with both, their arms open, and they will, more often than not, they will help you on the way. So that is something that you really want to do. And at the same time, being a Taiwanese is actually something that you want to make the most of, because the Chinese actually have acquired a bad reputations in Vietnam lately, but the Taiwanese, you used to have a bad reputation in the past, but it's kind of whitewashed now. So now the Vietnamese look at the Taiwanese with a very favorable kind of view. So make the most of that. I think that is going to be pretty much a generic questions that I can tell you. So allow me to give the floor to Ms. Pham, who want to say something. Ms. Pham.
Yes. I have one idea that for the first meeting, we know is either some information in brief from our association. So for make our group more productive meeting, so I think that because we are just only 3 members of BOD in our association, about over 10,000 members. We are almost leading on the business field in Vietnam. So actually the relationship economies between Taiwan and Vietnam very strong in the past until now. So I think that our assistant, we send not on the requirement, what kind of field, for example, your side want to invest, want to connect in Vietnam, send by via email to us, and our office, our assistant will send public information, because in our association, we have one app, we share all the B2B information in this app. For example, if your site exciting about industry zone, okay, we share with all of industry zone business group, or with your site exciting about food, beverage, just send information or finance or construction. So because we have all enough kind of business in our association, so that's why by email, then we send directly information to our group. Directly, this kind of group you mentioned, then more productive for the meeting. So just idea, because right now John or Syria or me just BOD, so we are not know very well how to the benefit from our member directly. So the good thing that we share, so we totally open mind to cooperate with your association. Look like by email or by WhatsApp something, we have a group chat and we share information. We raise our needs from on our side, and then we share together. We would change. And I think that after pandemic over, we have a chance to see directly each other. Maybe our group can come to see your association, or another way you can come to see how different in Vietnam. Because between Taiwan and Vietnam, for example, my company, we have a relationship with Formosa from Taiwan, or even though Foxconn something. A lot of very big company from Taiwan, they come here, they try to find the chance to cooperate, to invest factory or invest in the market over 100 citizens, very young, dynamic at the moment right now. So that is to say our productive meeting.
Okay, thank you, Hui. Richard, would you like to respond to Ms. Pham's recommendations?
Yes, we hope to have more regular meetings. I think this is a good beginning, but there should be a lot more to come. We have a lot more members that have their own agenda, and we can address them each prior to the meetings. Before we hold the next meetings, we can have agendas before that. We can find relevant resources from both sides. That would be a great step to move on. Thank you, Ms.
Okay, totally agree. So I would say that I think we are in agreement that after these meetings, we will let the two secretariats to compile the needs of your members. Maybe, as you mentioned earlier, do a survey of your members and perhaps exchange that via email or WhatsApp groups or whatever. And I think following that, we will facilitate for direct connections and direct discussions between our members without the intermediations of ourselves, of the organizations. So we will basically connect the dots and let the two partners or the two parties basically just converse directly. What would you say to that? Yeah.
Yes, yeah, we hope to be the connection, the platform.
Yeah, one thing that I can tell you, Richards, is that in Vietnam, we actually there are a numbers of businesses that actually fall into hard time. I know of one glass business that actually imported German technologies, huge one. I think they are 500,000 tons per year or something like that. But it's one of the second biggest in Vietnam, and they fell into hard time. They have issues with the kind of like bad debt. So I think again those opportunities are open for grasping by the Taiwanese partners. What we can do is we can share it with you, and how you make the most of it is up to you and them to decide and to find out.
Excellent. That's exactly the kind of opportunity that we hope to bring to all of our members as well. Thank you.
Yeah, exactly. So JT, I think you want to say something. The floor is yours.
Oh, no, I think I spoke already. I just didn't take down my hand, but thank you.
Okay, so Sandia, back to you. And any further agenda for today's discussion?
Well, thank you for all the fruitful input and the discussion. We look forward to the more connection and collaboration in the future.
All right, cool. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for your time. And after this, I will work with Sandia and then Mick to exchange information on this.
And taking this opportunity, I would like to thank Mr. Mick Moreno for arranging the virtual meeting today. Thank you, Mick. All right.
Thank you, Mick.
Before we end the meeting, we would like to take a group photo. So please look at the camera, and then we'll send out the group photo to everyone later after the meeting. All right. Please,
Okay,
thumbs up. Thumbs up. All right. Thank you, and see you, and wish you all good health and happiness. Thank you. Have a good day.
Thank you. Stay safe. Thank you.
Bye.
Have a good day. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.